Hey guys, so I thought I would jump on here today, and this is my first time recording anything like this. But I did come into this wedding that is pretty difficult. As you can see, we have about 1,700 images. I'm guessing it will be called right down to about 600 to 700. Um, this was a difficult wedding, so I thought that maybe it would help people to see some of the struggles that I went through this day. I'm a pretty seasoned wedding photographer, about 8 years in. I usually am pretty good at just about anything you throw at me these days. Um, but, oh, hold on. Did my thing go out on me? It stopped recording. What happened? Oh, no, it did go out on me. Okay, I just couldn't find it. Okay, anyways, let's get that back. And I'm gonna shut down Facebook too, so you guys can't hear all that in the background. Anyways, um, but this wedding at the Whitney, it started downpouring at the Whitney in Detroit. Downpouring literally right before the ceremony. We knew that there was a threat of rain, but a storm literally popped up out of nowhere, and yeah, and we had to pull everything inside. Come to find out, the Whitney really doesn't have a place for you to have a ceremony inside, except for on these staircases. So as you can see right here, like the officiant stood in front of these like stained glass windows. The bride came down from here. The groom came up from here. Guys, it was like something I had never seen before. Thank goodness, though, they did not hire a second photographer. I always bring an assistant. So I did have an assistant that could grab a camera and shoot also. Um, so yeah, I thought I would just bring you along a little bit to edit this wedding because it is rough. I'm not even going to lie, this is not going to be my best work. It is not going to be the best wedding ever that I have produced, but I'm going to do my best for my clients, and hopefully we got some pretty decent angles. I have went through it in cold. I think through the ceremony. The other issue was obviously it was pouring outside, and like you can see that there is just um, so much non-light in this place. um, but we got some pretty cool shots like of her bouquet coming in. This one I added a few little, as you could see, like light rays like hitting her bouquet, all that kind of stuff. Um, Here's where the ceremony was supposed to be, out here in this little garden. Um, Again, that didn't happen. Also, another spot was the one place that we did have cover, which was these stairs. There was a statue literally in the middle of this little brook, this path that I'd have to go around right here. Oh, guys, let me tell you. So it did end up, as you can see, stop raining for a little bit. So we got the guys out beforehand, as you can see down here. So these all turned out amazing and like my work. But once we got to the bridal stuff and the first look, it was pouring. So we were in a room that was about 6 by 8. It was so teeny tiny, and there was like 3 couches in there already. And yeah, so we had to do it in there. So I'm going to show you honestly what the like before and after of this was. So let's see here. Reset. That was the before, and this is our after, because it was so yellow, guys. So yellow. So hopefully this my heater does not. It is getting super cold in here. Does not interfere with this audio. But I am going to sit here for a little bit. If it does, I'll probably put some music in behind this, and go to town editing and kind of commentate through it a little bit. So It looks like I stopped off right here, somewhere right around in here. Again, the fall off of light in this place was crazy, crazy. You could not set up lights because you were shooting down here and you were shooting up here. I literally had to just go off of my speed light. You can see that they had guests sitting down here. They also had guests up on another balcony up here. So this is pretty much why I'm doing this. I would probably not even do this on a regular, oh, hold on. My thing is on my other screen, I think, which it shouldn't be. It's weird. I usually run with 2 screens, so I think my synchronized stuff is over there. It shouldn't be though if that screen is shut down. Anyways, so yeah. We're just gonna run through this, and then you can see kind of like how quickly I do kind of run through these. I don't bring that much into Photoshop. I don't use that many presets. What you just did see me use is just a red out preset, which will work pretty well in these pictures because there's tons of red. This was the bride and groom's daughter. So I tried to get a ton of them, but again, it's not easy when they were coming downstairs. Nobody was even looking at you because they were worried about tripping. And yeah, so I'm usually not going to be the one to put like this type of work out there, but I think that this is a good learning tool for a lot of you. And for a lot of you that are deathly afraid of weddings, this probably isn't going to help too much because this is the kind of predicaments that you can get into. But this is also what you need to practice and be ready for. So literally, we just put speed lights on our cameras. We bounced them as much as we possibly could bounce them. And I made sure that ISOs were high enough, but not like crazy high, and also that we got our exposures right, hopefully enough. Because that is where you're going to run into problems, is when your ISOs are not, or your exposures, I'm sorry, not your ISO, but your exposures are not correct and you're underexposing incredibly. I'd rather you expose correctly, and this one's a little off on focus. I'd rather you expose correctly and push that ISO a little higher than something else. There we go. I'd rather you, like I said, rather you push that ISO and expose correctly than underexpose, and then we have to push it in post-processing because that's where you get a lot of your green from. So that's kind of what I've learned. You will also see that random pictures in here have already been edited. Those are my pictures from my blog. So obviously, as you can see, like this would not be a picture that I would put up on my blog, but probably one that the bride wants. Is it the best? No, but I literally only had like a few of her. She, in my angle, unfortunately, there was no room over here. This is all over here down the staircase is all bridesmaids and groomsmen. So I could not physically get over here to get the bride coming down the aisle, or down the staircase, I should say, like correctly. So she continued to put her bouquet in front of her face, but as you can see here, we do get a glimpse of her face, and that is probably one that she'll want. You also see these ones of my second shooter's camera being a little bit off sync with my camera. You're going to see that a lot. I don't know why it happened. I thought we synced cameras pretty well, but clearly did not. So yeah, so I already go through and I grab about 50 images for my blog, the best of the best ones, and I edit those. Honestly, that little bit of time editing those pictures makes my editing later go, how much red I want to put in there. Anyways, go a lot easier because I can just click and sync a lot of the pictures. And usually editing a blog post doesn't take me that long on top of it. So it's merely probably sitting down and culling the images takes me longer. So, and I'll tweak here and there. So as you can see, here we go. She came down the stairs. I snuck in behind her over here. As you can see, all the bridesmaids. That's why I couldn't get into those staircase. All the bridesmaids, or I snuck in behind the bride and ran up the stairs, and now I'm shooting down at them, where now my second shooter is shooting up at them. Literally the only thing we could do. I mean, the staircase starts right here. So, again, guys, this was a tough, and as you can see, this is my second shooter's camera. Technically, she's an assistant. They did not pay for her pictures. They did not, you know, they didn't pay for a second shooter. She's not supposed to be shooting, but she can. She's learning. So you will see that there is going to be a little bit of a not so polished look to these. Hopefully I can help. But really she did a great job for what she was put up against, because like I said, this is tough. She actually saved me on the first kiss, because bridesmaids stepped in front of me. You'll see here in a minute. This is the parents that are upstairs. Oh, guys, I don't want to relive this day. I think that's the hardest part sometimes about photography. Whoops, I accidentally something about photographing a wedding after it happened is you're kind of traumatized by it for a little bit. So as you can see, and you don't want to go back and relive it, and you have to sometimes. But as you can see, I went up and around the staircase. I was trying to find cool advantage points, and as much as I wanted to pull my 70 to 200 out and get closer, I needed every ounce of my, as you can see, I'm at 1.6. I needed every ounce of my 50. And I thought that my 85 was going to be too slow. So I stayed at my 50. I could not afford going up to 2.8. You can see my ISO is already at 1,000. Sure, my Mark III probably could have handled it all. But on such limited space, I did not want to chance the fact of going to my 70 to 200 and losing out on ample footage. And as you can see, I bumped that literally just a couple of exposures. You guys see all that green in there? And I mean, I don't know what else to do. So we're going to bump noise and detail and see how much we can get rid of in there. Yeah. It's just what it's going to be, especially in black and white. So that's it. So anyways, I'm going to just keep on going through all of these. I don't love that color. I had better color earlier. Oh, you know what? This is my second picture, not my picture. So far. Yeah, nope. So you're going to see me, yep, pretty much going through and seeing, hold on 1 second, I got to pause here for a second. Guys, look at all oranges. I was going back and forth, trying to figure out if I liked my flash or if I didn't like my flash. So I was turning it on, I was turning it off, and trying to use, I think during the ceremony, the sun came out a little bit, as you can see kind of over here. Where did my thing go? Over here, the sun was coming out just a little bit more, and we were getting more light through these stained glass windows. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe we can turn off the flash a little bit and get a little bit better coloring, but, you know, didn't work. Sometimes so hot. So I was trying. Again, this is my second pictures. Not the best. Not anything to like get all crazy about, but honestly, I'm forever grateful for her on this day, because I wasn't able to get the shots. I put her in the spot that I probably should have been in, but still, I don't think that I could have done much better. I mean, you're shooting up people's noses because you were down. She was downstairs. That one ended up being out of focus, and yeah, it just here you can see again with that. Unfortunately, I missed the mark on exposure. See, and I've already bumped my ISO up to 2500, so now I'm feeling it. I bumped it up to 2500. People are starting to move, so I didn't want to be at a low shutter speed, and I missed my exposure, and therefore it's a little bit grainy. But again, I'm going to take it for what it's worth, and I'm trying to get a little bit of that orange out of there. I just bump that. Usually ceremonies are my easiest things to edit, honestly, but not this time. So I'm just going to bring this down, see, and then the purple starts to come out a little bit. Do you like these? Because you get good expressions on people's faces, watching everything. But so here again, I'm just trying to get different angles. So now I've come back down the stairs, trying to get them coming through, you know, through what the bridesmaids and groomsmen are seeing. Again, I was trying everything, getting a few good reactions from, I believe she's reading her vows. So this is actually the bride's mother. She was the maid of honor, so that was awesome. I love this little trend of parents being maid of honors and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how the parents feel about it right this second, but actually a little more pink in that one. Okay, this one I did see, and I definitely want this one black and white because I want that focus pulled towards him. And so yeah, so I was definitely just trying to get like different angles. I knew she was hopefully getting the straight up angles, and I knew that at this point I had to do something to make this ceremony a little bit more interesting. So I like this shot actually. Just gonna noise reduce it just a little bit. So over here, what I'm doing is I'm just syncing my settings. I've already done this, like the settings, so it should be pretty much the same thing. So like this, ooh, back is killing me. So I don't have to redo it and redo it and redo it, and so that they can kind of match each other so that everything is consistent. You definitely want a consistent look to your weddings. So even though those settings didn't work quite well, she got a little bit closer to them. I will take that and just sync. It's what makes wedding photography the easiest. So it's this sync button. I don't know what I did before Lightroom. I do know what I did. I spent so many hours, guys, writing down numbers of images. It was crazy what I used to do in Photoshop. So as you can see, this is the shot that I got for the first kiss. Not a good shot. Really not the best shot. So I came straight down after the ceremony. I was like, oh my gosh, please tell me that you got the first kiss. And she was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because I just didn't. So here they are now exiting, and they're going to go I thought maybe they'd come upstairs because the bridal suites were upstairs. Yeah, they went down. It is what it is. So here we are back at my seconds, and as you can see, I just kind of go through, paste. You can sync all those. I just go through and tweak, make sure my culling is good and that we are in focus. Like this one, I might just turn black and white, give her a different look there. So here it is. I've now ran down the stairs to get them going down, and here's my second. Trying to readjust her flash, bouncing light off, even though it's a complete mess. I am going to turn that black and white because I'm trying to like have the focus on them. And I will probably send this one into Photoshop to try and take her out of it a little bit. So I won't take all pictures out of Photoshop, or into Photoshop, I should say. I will take select views, any things that need to be, let's just let this open instead of fighting it. It's definitely taking a little bit more time with this. Still wants to fight with this screen capture going. All of a sudden they don't want to see how yellow her dress is. Ugh. If I go any more, so we're going to come down here and we're going to take out some yellows and some oranges. There, we're getting there. And then we're just going to bump. That's about probably as good as it's going to get from that. So many color casts, guys. So many color casts. So there's her first kiss shot. Perfect. I mean, she couldn't have done any better. She couldn't have done any better. I'm also actually, because they love the stained glass in this place. Hold on. Whew. I think this is probably why I changed to black and white, because if I get their skin tones right, then her dress just turns ultra yellow. I might have to go in Photoshop and Photoshop out some of that yellow. So anyways, here's her first shot, second shot, and then her flash goes out. Oh, actually, and this is unfocused, so we're out of there. Done. That's how we do with that. First shots of the, so there I am, right there. I've come down the stairs, and here we are. Oops, that's not what we want. Let's get the computer to work right. I will probably leave myself in it. They expect me to be in some shots. They don't expect my second to be in some shots. See, I take this as green. That's probably actually his jacket. The texture. Okay, so as you can see, and then, oops, just clicking away. As you can see, and then here was some just shots of people that were sitting, and probably couldn't see most of it. I can't imagine that they could see any of it, but just a few shots of people. So, yeah, see his thing. I mean, it's already green, so unfortunately that stinks, but nothing I can do about that. Okay, that was the end of the session, or the ceremony. I haven't gotten much further in my calling. This is all the blog posting calling. I did just do the marriage license, but I think I'm just going to wrap it up here. I will probably do another one because my family pictures were equally as rough. Then the day got easier. But this ceremony was definitely rough, so I just wanted to come in and show you that every ceremony is not going to be just peaches and cream and outside and beautiful light and all of that kind of stuff. So you need to be prepared. You need to bring speed lights. You need to bring what you have. Unfortunately, we couldn't. I would have set up more speed lights, given different circumstances. I have a lot more lights with me on these days, but there was nowhere to put them. So there was nowhere I could set them. So this is what we ran with. It was like last second, and this is what we could get. So I hope you guys all like this. If you love these type of edit with me's, please let me know in the comments below. Yeah, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll probably be getting more stuff up like this for you guys, both on our Focal Point Business Support Group and on my Case Photography channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.